Welcome to Spoiler Piece Theater, the podcast that doesn't give a shit about spoilers. We just want to talk about the movies. My name is Megan Kearns. My pronouns are she, her. I write film reviews for In Session Film. I'm a co-host of the Slashers podcast, a member of the Boston Online Film Critics Association, and a member of Gallica, the Society of LGBTQ Entertainment Critics.
My name is Dave Riedel. I'm a movie type person. My pronouns are he, him, and I am also a member of the Boston Online Film Critics Association.
That's for sure. My name is Evan Crean. My pronouns are he, him. I'm co-chair of the Boston Online Film Critics Association, co-author of your 80s Movie Guide to Better Living, and co-host of the It's the Pictures podcast.
Yes, you are. And speaking of It's the Pictures podcast, you guys are going to be doing a Studio Ghibli episode. And we also talked about Studio Ghibli. We talk on our Patreon this week about Spirited Away, the absolutely delightful 2001 fantasy animated film, and had a great time talking about that. So if you're a patron, go check it out. And if you're not, consider joining for $5 a month. And we're also, while we're talking about Patreon, we want to give a huge shout out and thank you to our sponsor piece patron, Heather Sachs. Heather, thank you so much.
Thank you, Heather.
Thanks, Heather.
So this week, we're going to be talking about two movies. We're going to be talking about the horror movie Weapons and the comedy drama My Mother's Wedding. So Dave was the only one who saw Weapons this week. I can't wait to hear about it. Before he dives in, I'm going to give you the synopsis and give you a little bit of info on it. The film stars Josh Brolin, Julia Garner, Alden Ehrenreich, with Amy Madigan and Benedict Wong. And it is directed by Zach Kreger, who also did Barbarian. And here is the synopsis from the press release. When all but one child from the same class mysteriously vanish on the same night at exactly the same time, a community is left questioning who or what is behind their disappearance. All right, Dave. I cannot wait. I am so pumped to see this movie. What did you think? Take it away.
Let's see. Well, I don't want to oversell it, but this is probably the second best movie I've seen this year.
Ooh.
After Sorry Baby.
Which is the number one film of the year. I agree with you.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing that I will say that I find moderately irksome about this is there's a voiceover in it, a sporadic voiceover, mostly just at the beginning and the end, by not one of the kids, but a kid from the town.
Oh.
Kind of. It's in the trailer, too, I think.
Oh, okay. Yes, then I've heard that.
Yeah.
I've heard that voice.
And one of the things that I had to come to grips with is, the movie kind of throws you it's not a red herring, but it's like it tries to throw you off right at the beginning because the little girl narrator says, all the kids from Mrs. Gandy's class, they got out of bed, they went downstairs, they opened the front door, they walked into the door, and they never came back. And we're going to go ahead and spoiler piece it. They find the children all alive and unharmed.
Oh, phew.
But they didn't come back. They were brought back.
From hell?
No, they're
from another planet.
Now, I'm not really sure what I thought I was going to see when I went in to see this. I hadn't really thought about what it was. I just sort of thought about, the idea of 17 children leaving their homes at the same time and running down the street or through the woods or wherever they were going with their arms kind of like they're flying. I mean, it's fucking creepy. It's like Rod Serling levels of creepy, Yeah. And it really, really works. And the smart thing this movie does is it can't play out like a traditional narrative because so many things overlap in the movie, because you've got like 5 or 6 characters who each get their own title card. The first one is Justine, which is Julia Garner. And the next one is, I want to say his name's Archer, which is Josh Brolin, one of the parents. And then it's, then it's Alden Ehrenreich's character. And then it's this junkie's character. And then it's like the one kid who didn't like run out of the house. He gets the last chapter. And, but as you realize pretty quickly, they're all in each other's stories, you know? So you see lots of things from different perspectives at different times, which could be cheap, but the stories are woven together so well that it just sort of seems like, oh, well, of course, you know, each character has a different perspective. So why wouldn't you see a different perspective? And it just so happens the narrative is laid out as, you know, each narrative gives you more information. So would you like to know what the reason for all of this is before I get into the story? First of all, I got to tell you, this is an anti-fascism movie.
Yes!
I was watching it and it was so clear to me, and I'm not sure it's going to be clear to everybody. And even if it is, it's kind of like, I'm really not sure how you could disagree with the message.
Listen.
Yeah. But do you want me to tell you what the whole reason for whatever is?
I want to know, and obviously it's a spoiler piece, but part of me doesn't, because I kind of want to go in not knowing, but I want to know, and I think our listeners
even if I tell you
to know.
when you see it on screen, you're still going to be like, you know.
Okay.
So Amy Madigan is a witch.
Oh!
And she has put a spell on all of these children, and the one little boy who doesn't run out of the house, on his parents. And she eventually puts a spell on Benedict Wong and Julia Garner and Josh Brolin and Alden Ehrenreich.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I just got chills. I'm so here for this.
Well, so you do see here. This movie has some jump scares, and I have to say, they kind of work. Like the first one scared the audience so badly that literally everybody in the theater lost their minds. I screamed so loudly that I turned to the couple sitting next to me and I was like, I'm so sorry. And they were both like, it's fine.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That is amazing. I cannot wait. I'm pumped.
Yeah. You know who my favorite performance is in this movie, though?
Who?
Benedict Wong. He's the fucking best.
He's the greatest.
So good.
Yeah.
He's great.
He plays the principal of the school. And he is like, I just feel like, was Benedict Wong actually a principal? Because I can just see a principal doing these things. Like, he's compassionate, but he's thinking about, because Julia Garner was their teacher. So he's thinking about, how's this affecting her? But I've also got to think about these 17 sets of parents who've lost their children. And of course the town is, it's in the trailer. The town they have a meeting about, what happened. And she goes to speak at the meeting and they're like, I want to know what you know. And Josh Brolin does that and some other ones. And they follow her out of the school and they have to like sort of semi-escort her to her car so that she can like get away so that she's not, filleted in the parking lot, I guess. And then it turns out that she's kind of a budding alcoholic, and Alden Ehrenreich.
Geez.
You don't really know if they were ever together or if they just had a fling, but he's a police officer and she sees him. She takes her, somebody spray paints the word witch on the side of her car, which it turns out to be Josh Brolin. And she takes it to the police station to file a report, and she sees Alden Ehrenreich in the parking lot, and he waves at her. And I'm like, oh, what's that connection? And then, his story comes up later, and you see what it is. And the movie gets to a point, too, where it's no longer accusing Julia Garner of whatever she's done. And right when it stops accusing her, you learn that it's all Amy Madigan. So, and let me tell you, actually, I take back Benedict Wong being the best performance. Amy Madigan, I have always thought is really good.
Agreed.
But she is terrifying in this movie. She's terrifying.
I'm so pumped.
I'm watching this going like, man, do I never want to cross this woman? But she does make a fatal mistake.
Uh-oh.
She doesn't realize. So she's Alex, the little boy who doesn't disappear. So she's terminally ill with something. You never really learn what it is, but I think it's cancer of some kind. Because she's got a whole set of wigs and things like that. And she goes to stay with Alex's parents, kind of like it's palliative care. But she goes there, and the first thing she does is cast a spell on his parents. And so everybody she casts a spell on, it kind of turns them into zombies. like they can still talk and they can still sort of move, but she has ultimate power over them, so she can make them do stuff. And she is the one who directs Alex to, she's like, well, you know, the things that your parents were doing to help me aren't getting me any better. You haven't been able to get me any better. None of the people I could see can get me any better. And she's like, maybe your friends at school could help me. And he's like, how? She's like, well, do you think you could get like one personal item from each of them and bring it to me? And she uses that to cast a spell to have them all run to the house. And then they just chill out in the basement. And Alex's job is to feed everybody soup so they don't starve to death.
Ah!
Yeah, it's kind of interesting that there are practical implications of the witchcraft in this movie.
Yeah.
You know, because one of the first things she says to him after she makes it clear that she can have her parents like kill themselves if she wants to, she's like, you got to feed them because they're still alive and you don't want them to starve to death if you ever want to get your parents back. So like every day, you know, he's opening up a tin of Campbell's soup and like spoon feeding his parents. I feel so bad for this kid.
Jeez.
And so you
unnerving.
You get the feeling that she has cast the spell on these children to like, I don't know. You don't really ever know what she's going to do, except that maybe she wants their energy, maybe she wants their blood, maybe she wants to control them. It's never made clear. Kind of like it's never really clear why a fascist wants control over everything. So, you know, except for hate, maybe. So
power control.
Power control. Others. Yeah. I mean, there's that. She does, you know, I mean, the way that she gets Benedict Wong's character, it's so sad. You know, like the deaths of the adults in this movie, most of them are truly sad, you know? Anyway, I don't want to talk about it too much more because even though I've told you she's a witch and she's lured all these kids out of the house, there's still like a lot, you know, in this movie. And I should mention that the jump scares are all of her, like the characters who are tangentially related to her, like Julia Garner and Josh Brolin, all that stuff. They see visions of her where their children used to be, so like Josh Brolin is like, he has a dream where this is actually this movie also has so Barbarian has a sense of humor that I think is kind of glib, mostly because it's embodied by the Justin Long character, who's a fucking douche in that movie. Intentionally a douche. I mean, it's not like, you know, Zach Crager wrote him was like, he's really a good guy. No, he's a bad guy. And they know it. In this movie, the humor is more, it's there to like ease the tension. Like it's really, because some of this stuff is so tense. Like Josh Brolin has this dream in his sequence where he's like following his son around, and then he goes into his son's room, and then his son is in bed and he's talking to him, and the little boy won't say anything to him. He's just looking at them. And he's like, son, why won't you just tell me what's going on? And he turns into Amy Madigan right before his eyes. And I thought that everybody was going to lose their fucking minds. And that's not even the scariest one. The scariest one is Julia Garner's jump scare. Because it does the James Wan thing where it fakes you out. You think it's going to be in a couple different places and then it isn't. And you're like, oh, okay. No jump scare. Wrong. And the other thing is, this movie has really exceptional nighttime photography.
Ooh,
you know, a lot of times when you do, now they do wet down the streets, which is my least favorite thing to do in nighttime photography because it's cheating, but that's fine.
Hey, if it looks good.
Well, the darks in this are really dark, but it's lit in such a way that you can still see clearly like the people moving in the darkness, which in a way makes some of it even scarier because you know it's there and you're just not quite sure what it's going to do.
Yep.
Krieger used that very well in Barbarian in the basement sequences, especially with the mother character. For those of you who've seen Barbarian, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, so yeah, I loved this. I loved it.
Yay.
It's scary. It's a good mystery, and it's super political. And I'm just waiting for all the shit to pop up on Reddit with people being like, "Why can't you fucking keep your politics out of my horror movies?" I would argue that horror movies are the most political genre, followed very closely by Westerns. So,
Oh, I'd say sci-fi, but yes, Westerns are extremely political
sci-fi,
too.
yeah.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
Sci-fi definitely has a strong anti-capitalist bent, for sure. But this is just anti-fascism straight out, because you've got this one person doing all of these horrible things for her own benefit to the detriment of everyone else. Kind of like something else we all know. So, it's, I could not believe, because I watched Barbarian over the weekend and I was like, it's fine. I can see, why people like it. I did like it, didn't love it, but, had some good ideas and, do. But this movie, he's firing on all thrusters. So I really loved it.
Oh, that's so great.
Awesome.
So there you go.
I was already wanting to see it. Now I really fucking want to see it.
I know. I never praise movies, so just kidding.
You're just picky.
I mean,
that's all right.
I feel like a little bad though, because if you both go to it and you're like, no, it was okay, sure. I see where you're coming from, but
listen, I'm always excited for witches. So whatever happens, I'm fucking pumped, and I was already pumped.
And the thing that I think that is really smart about the way he made her a witch is, you all know, she's not super. I mean, she can be super creepy, but when she's just talking to people, she just seems like she's kind of eccentric, And I think that might be even scarier, because you're more likely, if you knew her in real life, you'd be like, oh, that's Amy Madigan. She's just kooky, Nope, she's carrying around a tree, and she pricks her finger with one of those thorns. Yeah.
That is really interesting, because I just recently watched Mother of Lies that premiered at Fantasia, and it's about a witch, and she pricks her finger with and that's part of her magic. So that's so interesting that there are two films that have both come out that have that visual.
There's also a way that she lulls you into think she's not going to do any magic too. In the Benedict Wong scene,
tricky.
It's she makes this odd request, and it's like the moment she said it, I'm like, what's going on here? And then you find out.
Oh.
So, yeah.
I don't know about you two, but my favorite Amy Madigan performance is her fiery performance at the PTA meeting in Field of Dreams.
When she slides onto the hallway and into the lockers. I love that.
I think about that scene frequently. I love it. She's so great.
Yeah.
So when you said that she was a witch, I was like, I cannot wait. I'm still pissed that I couldn't go to because there was no screening where I live, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But I cannot wait to go see it in the theater. So excited.
I love that moment in Field of Dreams too, when they're sort of behaving like adults, and finally she's like, "All right, you want to step outside?" And then the other prim and proper woman's like, "Fine," and she throws the book down that she's carrying.
She's so great in that movie.
Oh yeah, yeah. She's a trip in that. Anyway, so I would highly recommend Weapons to you if you prefer to pronounce it that way, and
you would, but okay.
Oh, by the way, I haven't told you the actual ending, because there's an ending. Oh boy. But it's not germane to you have all the information you need, and even not knowing what the ending is, when you two finally see it, you're going to be like, holy shit. So,
well, I'm going this weekend to see it, because I can't wait now.
Yeah.
I need to inject it into my veins immediately.
Yeah. I highly recommend it. Oh, by the way, when she tells you don't step over the salt, there's a good reason.
I was like, salt is usually protective.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you step on her side of the salt, that's when things get bad.
Yeah, because I was like, usually, when you if you cast a circle, protective circle. You do it with salt a lot of times. Anyway, I digress. Any other final thoughts, Dave, before we
No, it's
move
a
on?
hoot.
All right. I'm excited for a great scary movie. Okay, so let's talk about our next movie, My Mother's Wedding, which is directed by Kristen Scott Thomas. She also wrote the film, or co-wrote the film rather, and she also co-stars in the film. The movie also stars Scarlett Johansson, Sienna Miller, Emily Beecham, and Freida Pinto. And let me give you the description. 3 sisters return to their childhood home for a momentous occasion, the 3rd wedding of their twice widowed mother. Over the weekend, the family gathers to celebrate the new marriage, but mother and daughters alike are forced to revisit the past and confront the future, all with help from a colorful group of unexpected wedding guests.
That summary makes this sound like a madcap comedy, which it
Yes.
absolutely is not.
No. It makes it sound like 4 Weddings and a Funeral, which is funny because Kristen Scott Thomas was, of course, in that, and her husband in this film it was also in 4 Weddings and a Funeral, and Richard Curtis also was a producer on this film, or maybe he's just thanked in the credits. Maybe he's not a producer, but he's thanked in the credits. So it's not a surprise that it would sound like that, but you're absolutely right, Evan. It is not that.
No.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
She's twice widowed.
Yes.
Please tell me you find out she murdered her husbands.
No.
Damn it.
They both
No
died in the military in the war.
Oh, so that was true with Sienna
Well,
Miller. I only saw
yes.
the first 15 minutes, so.
Well, yeah. One was the first father died in some type of mechanical failure, and the other was MIA in Bosnia. That was his story.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting dredging up those types of tragedies for your fictional narrative, but okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you have these 3 sisters, and one sister is in the Royal Navy. That's Scarlett Johansson's character. She's about to be the first woman on, I can't remember the boat
Command an
name.
aircraft carrier.
Thank you.
As a captain? They call
She's
her
becoming
captain.
I think she's become an admiral at this point. She's just gotten a promotion. She's like about to
the
command
youngest
the aircraft.
admiral ever?
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus. Okay, I'm going to stop. I'm stopping.
It's okay. And then you have Sienna Miller's character, who is a famous actress, and Emily Beecham is a palliative nurse, and she's the only one who is married, and they all have kids. And Scarlett Johansson's character is a lesbian, and she's in a long-term relationship with Freida Pinto, who wants a more serious commitment, and she's kind of dragging her feet. And we also see flashbacks through black and white drawings through Scarlett Johansson's view of her father and then later of her stepfather. And yeah, so the whole family is basically coming together. The whole film takes place over the course of like a couple of days at the wedding, after the wedding, the day before the wedding, and then when Scarlett Johansson's character finally is on the aircraft carrier, there's a whole ceremony that you see, and her family is there, and you see them there too. And there are secrets that are revealed over the course of this wedding bonanza. You find out that Emily Beecham's husband is cheating on her, although she already knew that, but then that she hires a private detective, and there's video footage, and there's some kinky sex that she's grossed out by or bothered by. And then, Scarlett Johansson lets it slip that Sienna Miller actually had sex with her husband too a long time ago. And so
supposedly before they met.
Yes,
But
that
that's
is
why
true.
that's why Sienna Miller never liked him.
Yes.
And always
Well,
was like,
according
"Why
to
you with
Emily
this
Beecham.
D-bag?"
Yes. Yeah. And then I think that's it. Oh, and then there's another secret that when Scarlett Johansson was 12 years old, her stepfather asked, "Hey, I want to adopt you and your sister. Do you want to change your name?" And she's like, "Absolutely not. I love you, but I don't want to change my name because that's my dad's name. I want to keep it." And then Sienna Miller is pissed off. She's like, well, I would have said yes. And she's like, I can't believe you're pissed at me. I was 12. I was just a kid. And she's like, why didn't you tell me? You always keep secrets. You never tell me anything. And she's like, what are you talking about? And then Emily Beecham is pissed off. And she's like, all I have ever done is live in the shadow of, you two, and being, the fact that my whole identity is about how I've had 2 dead fathers. Anyway, that's... Am I missing anything, Evan?
Not anything substantial. No, it's just there's a lot of like little things. Like there's a whole thing about, speaking of names, like the names of everybody. It's like Frost is, the first dad's name, and Munson was the second dad's name, and the new guy, his name is Love Glove. And, there's just jokes about like how silly that sounds. And the mom's going to take his last name because that's what you do. But,
even though the mom then goes on a whole rant about why are you obsessed with men? Because I taught you to be independent. And I'm like, well, your oldest daughter is not obsessed with men. She's a lesbian, but whatever.
Yeah. Well, I think it's more just like the obsessed with the, I hate using
the obsessed with the
daddy issues, but
with the dead fathers.
I can't think of anything more tactful to say in the moment.
No, you are right. That is actually what it is. But yes, and to give you the names of these characters, since we're talking about names, it's Catherine, Victoria, and Georgina, or Georgie as they call her.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, Evan. What did you think of this?
I thought this was okay. There was some stuff I liked about it, but now even just talking about it, I'm finding it more and more irritating by the second.
I love that.
Yeah, I think just like even just listening to a recap, I'm like, oh God, this movie sounds insufferable.
It was insufferable to give that recap.
Yeah. I mean, there were a couple moments that made me legitimately laugh out loud, which is funny to say after, I said before, this is like not a madcap comedy. It's heavy drama with some injections, some sparse comedic moments. I like the 3 leads. I think that they give good performances, and I feel that they were believable to me as sisters who are constantly kind of at odds with each other because there's very different personalities and ways of moving through the world. So I felt like when they were like getting into it, that felt very real to me. That said, we were just talking about the whole name drama, which feels totally forced and manufactured and stupid, honestly, for a reason for them to be upset with each other after all of this time. And I liked Kristen Scott Thomas in this when she actually has something to do, when she has that whole, rant that she goes on and yells at her daughters for being in such a state of arrested development this entire time. I thought she was good in that scene, and I liked the core of what she was saying, although some of it got to be pretty heavy-handed. And like cliche, trite things of that sort. So there are like individual moments of this movie that I feel like were working, and I like the whole thing of like the daughters that are just like, oh God, we with this like nerd now. Like, why would you be this nerd? Like this like dorky guy, and our dads were like so macho, and I love that she's like, yeah, I grew the fuck up. I don't want like young dumb idiot, you know what I mean? Like I don't want the jock anymore. I like this guy. He's sweet, he's nice, he takes care of me. Like, don't you want that for me? So I love that she's like always got his back throughout the movie when they're kind of like making fun of him or just being like, Mom, why are you with this nerd? So these are some of the things that I liked about the movie. I found it really frustrating that, well, first of all, I was like, there's no way they're going to do it. But I was slightly worried that, so Dave, Jack Frieda Pinto has given Scarlett Johansson this ultimatum that's basically like, I want to have a kid. I am now pregnant. I've got myself pregnant with another kid. I want to raise this kid. We had a kid. You had that kid. I want to have my own kid. Basically, like, I want you to like quit your job and like let's be a normal family. And there was
Stop
just like
being a rear admiral in the Navy.
That's
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah, and I was ever so slightly worried that the movie, as it was hurtling towards her big ceremony, that she was going to be like, no, I'm going to walk away from my career because my family is important. But then I was like, no, there's no way the movie would like build up to this and have that happen. But there was a slight worry. But then like they finally have a moment after the ceremony where Scarlett Johansson's sister like something effective like, yeah, you know, I've been like absent. I haven't like given you time, like I haven't actually like addressed this important thing in our relationship. And it seemed like she was gonna like actually maybe at least propose because there's this whole thing where like the son gives her this ring and she's like holding on to the ring and you're like, well, okay, maybe she'll like, even if she's not going to quit her job, maybe she'll actually like make it official and they'll get married, and at least that will be some form of compromise in the relationship. But no, they just don't even do that or even really give you any type of satisfying emotional catharsis after all this back and forth about the relationship. So that was like really fucking annoying in the movie. And then, you know, just other stuff that's just super annoying. Like the kids are all out and you're like, okay, they're all going out. One of them is going to need to get rescued. And sure enough, one of them is like drinking and goes up in a tree and they have to call the fire department to get him down. This is like utterly predictable moments like this. I'll tell you, I was not predicting the cheating thing was going to be involving like kinky sex. I was not, and them showing it. But I guess I had to know when the private investigator was like, yeah, I'll part of this package is like, I'll cut together the footage and put like some song, lay some track underneath it so you can like have it for whatever fucking reason you want to have edited footage of your spouse cheating on you with a track to like rub it in their face. So yeah, there's definitely some weird shit in this movie. That's for sure. But yeah. That's where I come down. I feel like it was okay, but now the more I'm talking about it, the more annoyed I'm feeling about this movie.
That's how I feel when I talk about broadcast news. So
I've never seen broadcast news. I need to see it.
Oh?
Yeah, me neither.
It's been on my list for a long time because people love it. You're the first person I've ever heard, Dave, who said they didn't like it.
Oh,
so now I'm intrigued.
Sorry, you were just reminding me about the animated footage. So I think it's a choice. Like, you know, when we say, oh, it was a choice that they made. And I don't think it was the worst choice. I think it was an interesting choice because I think the animated scenes do effectively convey the emotions that I think they're intended to when, you know, Scarlett Johansson is thinking back at her childhood with like a sense of mourning and wistfulness. But the style of animation is completely wrong. And I feel like the way it's cut into the movie also is very jarring and does not work. It's not the right style of animation. It feels like it belongs in a different movie. Like it was reminding me of like stuff you would see in like documentaries, you know?
Yeah, but like a bad documentary.
Yeah, so it's definitely a choice, and I don't think it's a good one. I think it's interesting that they made the choice. I respect them for trying it. Just doesn't quite land.
Yeah, I think if you had, for me, a better performance, you wouldn't need that. Because you're right, that does kind of provide some texture to her emotional state.
Mm-hmm.
But I think a better performance, better direction, better writing, you might not need that in order to do it. But
That's
it
true.
is a choice. It's just one I think was terrible.
Yeah.
But A for effort?
Yeah. I mean, for trying it. For you know,
doing
taking
a
swing.
Different. Yes,
I don't think it's for the fences, but it's at least for a double or a triple.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm like, I love Kristen Scott Thomas. I have always liked her as an actor. One of my favorite performances of her is in a film, a French film, I've Loved You So Long, where she lives with her sister after getting out of prison. And it's such a powerhouse performance, so subtle and nuanced.
Mm-hmm.
And I often think about, and I also love her in other things too. Like I love her in Four Weddings and a Funeral, and I love that film. But I think about that performance, and I've Loved You So Long, in a lot of other areas when I'm thinking about acting. And so I was so excited to see this film. And I was like, oh, she directed it. You know, she wrote it. How cool. And I have to tell you, I couldn't stand this movie. I was so I don't understand it. This is a great cast. Like I really like Scarlett Johansson. I have seen Emily Beecham be great. Sienna Miller probably is the one I like the least, but I've seen her be solid too. And I didn't care about these characters. They did sort of, because I was thinking about what you were saying, and I was like, they didn't feel real to me at all as sisters. But I will say they got better as the movie went along. So when they get to that fight, that one fight when they're like down by the river, I don't know why, like when they go to see the cheating footage and they're like down by the river and they're like rain boots and sweaters with their sweaters and sweatshirts over their dresses that they wore to the wedding, but which is kind of just weird. And I kept thinking about those weird choices. Like, why did they wear that sweater? And why did they wear those rain boots? Like, that's what I'm thinking about. But I will say they felt more like real sisters at that point. But you're right. Everything felt so trivial. Everything felt trite. And, you know, listen, I know that everyone's individual problems are monumental and apocalyptic to them. But this film doesn't build any momentum. I feel like you can have a movie about, quote, nothing, and it's really about everything. But none of the revelations feel like revelations. It's like, I just felt like, okay, and? Like, so? Like, who cares? This isn't a big deal. But I know to these characters it is, but it doesn't feel like a big deal. So this just felt maudlin to me. And I just was so irritated watching because I'm like, this should be better. These actors deserve better. Kristen Scott Thomas deserves better. And she's the one who made this movie. Yeah. So it just irritated the hell out of me, sadly. I was so sad. And I don't know. I was very irritated. I also like part of me was like, yay, okay, you have a lesbian daughter. But I was like, I don't know. Did you buy Scarlett Johansson and Freida Pinto as a couple?
I guess. I don't think they had very much chemistry.
Right. That's what I mean.
But I'm like, but we're also seeing them at a low point in their relationship where it seems like they're kind of at a like make or break moment where it's just like they just seem tired. They just seem tired of this situation and this stasis, you know?
I guess maybe they're tired of each other too. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you've been with someone a while, there's still, and you decide to stay, there should still be some kind of spark or connection, something.
Mm-hmm.
To me, they felt like two strangers, and not like in the way like, oh, we've drifted apart, so we're strangers. Like, no, it literally felt like they were two strangers. So I don't know. I did not buy that they were queer women. I did not buy that they were in a queer couple. It just did not feel that way. But then again, I didn't believe any of the performances in this movie. So I didn't believe Emily Beecham Georgina when she's leaving her husband. And I was like, I don't believe you actually married this guy and would have stayed with him, even though she did. But then she didn't and kicked him out. I don't know.
Yeah. Although, so one of the lines that I legit LOL'd was when, I don't remember if it was the mom or one of the sisters referred to the shitty husband as Jeremy Clarkson, because
yes.
I was like, that is an apt comparison because he looks like Jeremy Clarkson, and also she's like complaining about him like working on a car or something. Yes, so I'm like, oh, there's the Top Gear connection, and also he's a piece of shit. Great.
Yeah, very apt.
So yeah, that was an LOL moment. Also, another one of my LOL moments was when Frida Pinto showed up with her mom, and her mom like was gonna go upstairs to see Kristen Scott Thomas, and she called her a very choice word that was like, "I'm coming up there, you," and I'm not even gonna say the word because I just can't without just being like, I'm not even supposed to say this word. But it was very funny. It's just like the fact that her mom and like Kristen Scott Thomas are like buddies that are just like talking to each other in such a crude way made me laugh.
Yeah. Speaking of Kristen Scott Thomas, one thing I was not here for, and there's a weird conservative bent to this film
Yes.
that it really rubbed me the wrong way. And one of the ways it rubbed me the wrong way was when you had said something that I completely agree with. I do like that Kristen Scott Thomas, the mom, defends Jeff, her new husband, at all times. I was not here for her slapping the shit out of her daughter. And
Nope.
I'm like, what the fuck? And like, everyone's acting like that's totally cool, totally normal. And in it, listen, people do shitty things. Okay, you want to tell a story. Maybe you want to depict somebody doing something shitty, something that they regret, something they don't think is their proudest moment. But then combined with all of the other choices in this film and everything else that feels weirdly conservative, I'm like, ew, this is just, no.
Like that line where where Kristen Scott Thomas and Frida Pinto's like mom in the film are like, oh, these lesbians, they fight for the right to get married and then they don't even want to go through with it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm like,
that was an irritating line. I knew you would find it quite irritating.
I was like, what the fuck is this movie? I was already pissed, and then there are just a lot of bad choices here.
Mm-hmm. And just weird moments. Like, Dave, there's a moment where Kristen Scott Thomas's husband, who I don't even think he's their husband yet, just walks in accidentally. He's like drunk. He's gone out for his bachelor party. He walks into a bedroom and sits down, starts getting undressed. It's Sienna Miller's room, and she sleeps naked. So she just sits up and is like, what the fuck are you doing here? He's like, oh my God. Oh God. I still sees her naked. Awkward moment. And then he says something to the effect of like, I didn't see any of the important bits. Like, what?
Well, and then on top of it, you have Emily Beecham and her kid, her daughter, and her daughter's like staring at Sienna Miller's boobs, and she's like, people pay good money to see these. And like, what? What are we doing?
Like, why are you sleeping naked in your family
at your mom's
home?
house? Exactly. Put some fucking clothes on. I don't
and
care
when
if
she
you
wakes
sleep
up,
naked
like
elsewhere.
her kid is like laying on the bed asleep, and she's still like naked in bed. And then she like then you see her like get up and get in a robe or something, and I'm just like, what? What are you doing?
What is happening?
Oh boy.
Dave,
I don't regret not seeing this.
I was just going to say, are you sad that you only saw the first 15 minutes?
Oh, also another weird choice.
Yes.
Did you feel like Scarlett Johansson's son was looking at her butt when she was exercising?
Oh my God. I think you're right. I hadn't really thought about that.
She's like
but
bent over
right.
exercising, and they make it look like her son was looking at her butt.
Yeah.
Yikes.
There's some very, very strange choices here.
They get stranger the more I think about them. I'd forgotten about that. But in the course of talking about Sienna Miller sleeping in the nude, I was like, they showed her son checking out her butt. What the fuck?
See, I thought it was just weird that they were all singing Benny and the Jets in the kitchen, in the first 15
also
minutes.
A strange choice. Yeah, that would be a song that they would be singing together.
Yeah.
I'm really... This is maybe petty, but I've really had it, and some movies pull it off well, but I've really had it where movies that depict women must have them doing a karaoke moment or singing like that because, like, yeah, okay, sure, women sing in the shower, and yes, of course, women sing when they get together, but, like, it feels like a cheap moment to fill in rather than really develop characters and deep connections and having subtle moments. It's like, let's have a sing along. And I'm like, what are we doing?
And
Mhm.
also Benny and the Jets. I mean,
Well, there's
Yeah.
that too.
I hate me some Elton John, and that's one of his lesser offensive songs, I find, but I still don't ever want to hear it again.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of that song.
So just like when I hear that in a soundtrack, I'm like, this filmmaker and I have nothing in common.
Is that when you jumped ship?
That is exactly when I jumped ship. I was like, nope. I already don't buy that these three are sisters. I don't buy Scarlett Johansson's accent.
Oh,
And
it was so
now
bad
they're
in the
singing
beginning.
fucking Benny and the Jets and talking about Mr. Glove Love or whatever his name is. Hard pass.
Yeah. And the choices just get weirder from there.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm also just like marveling at why they chose to show the amount of detail in the like edited footage of the cheating. Like,
Yes.
Dave, there's this whole thing where like, so they show like the husband's, cheating on her, right? But he's wearing like a soccer jersey, and like they show this woman like go to give him a blowjob, and then he's like, yeah, he's got his arms in the air, like, okay, that's
like goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then she like pulls out this like whole thing of sex toys, puts a strap on, and is gonna like peg him, and he's like laying like sprawled on this table, still wearing the outfit with a whistle in his mouth, and you see her from a like wide shot charge into him.
Yeah.
And then he blows the whistle. I'm like, what is this? Why are we seeing this? Like, so odd.
Wasn't he also eating grapes too? Like right before?
Oh yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Like,
But it's
what are
just
we
like,
doing?
Yeah,
Why are we kink shaming? What are we doing?
right. I
What-
wouldn't even have brought it up before, but I'm just
No,
like, we need
it's-
to mention all of the really fucking weird shit. in this
It's
movie.
so fucking
like,
weird.
why did they show that level of detail? Like, why did we need to see that?
I think because they think it's funny. And it's not.
Yes. Like, what the fuck?
I don't know. That's the only thing I can think of. And it's not. It's not funny.
Wow. Somebody looked at this script that Kristen Scott Thomas wrote with her pal, John Micklethwaite. I think that's his name.
Yes.
And they're like, yes, let's greenlight this movie.
Mhm.
Well, bummed I didn't see it. I mean, not really,
Mhm.
but
No.
wow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry that you two had to go through that.
It was an experience.
Yep. It's true.
Evan, do you have any final thoughts?
No. I feel like we've gotten them all out there, I think. Oh, you know what? I will have one. I will have one more thought. So there's also a whole subplot, Dave, about this fucking rich French guy
Oh, God.
who wants to like take care of Sienna Miller, and so he like shows up in his fucking helicopter, like throwing his money around, and like it's all so gross and so creepy. But he like sits down with Kristen Scott Thomas, and he's basically like trying to have a conversation with her, which you would think might be like, oh, let me ask for your daughter's hand in marriage, but he's fucking married. So she's like, let me get this straight. You're asking me my blessing for my daughter to be your primary mistress or something like that. And that moment I actually thought was funny, and then followed up by the fact that he was giving them this like really fancy fucking vacation in the Seychelles for their honeymoon gift. And she's like, let's just take that and donate that to the church auction. Let someone else take that. And I thought it was such a great fuck you to this guy.
Boy, this movie's 95 minutes long.
Yes.
How'd they fit all this stuff in?
I don't know.
Well, the ceremony at the end on the aircraft carrier takes up a lot of time. It's like 15 minutes, 10 minutes.
Mhm. Yeah.
I think 10 minutes. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that bothered me. It was like, now the more we talk about it, I'm like, wait, that bothered me too. When she's giving her speech, and I feel like this is supposed to be empowering when she's like, you know, you've heard a lot of chatter about my being the first woman in this position, and that's just noise. I just care about us being a team. And I'm like, okay, the second part, great. You want to be a team? That's awesome. But no, that's a fucking accomplishment. Why are we diminishing it? It's, oh God. Anyway. I'm irritated.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
Yeah, I'm so irritated. Anyway, let's do a recap. Weapons is in theaters now. Dave, you would enthusiastically recommend it because you already did enthusiastically recommend it.
Mm-hmm.
Yay, verily.
Woohoo! And then My Mother's Wedding is in theaters now. And Evan, would you say skip this or watch it?
I'd say skip it. If you asked me a couple days ago, I might have said, your mileage may vary, but the more we talk about it, the more just like, no.
Yeah, I also would say skip it. I would say watch another Kristen Scott Thomas film or Scarlett Johansson film. Watch Four Weddings and a Funeral. It's a delight.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
That movie always is fun.
It is fun.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm still traumatized by by that detailed sex tape.
Yeah, it's just I mean, let me be clear, the acts themselves are not disturbing, but the way in which that it's shot and edited is very unsettling.
Yes. Absolutely. Well said.
And trying to play it for laughs also makes it that much more unsettling.
Yes. We're not going to mock him for infidelity, but we are going to mock him for his sexual taste. Like, no, anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, gross. So, I'm sorry. I've lost the thread. We want to give a huge thank you to our editor, Otto Klammer. Otto, thank you so much for making us sound great week after week.
Thank you, Otto.
Thanks, Otto. Thanks for listening to stuff like this every week.
You can find Spoiler Piece Theater anywhere you get podcasts. You can also find us at our website, spoilerpiece.com. You can find us all over the place. We're at social media at Spoiler Piece on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Threads, Letterboxd, Blue Sky. Come say hello. Come follow us. Find out what we got going on. And you can also email us, spoilerpiece@gmail.com. Let us know, what did you think of these movies? If you've seen them, are you excited to see them? Do you disagree? Do you agree? We'd love to hear your thoughts. We love hearing from you. And if you like the show, please consider rating and reviewing us. It helps us out a lot. You can go to ratethispodcast.com/spoilerpiece. We'll take you to your preferred platform of choice. You can also just rate us directly at Apple Podcasts or on Spotify. And if you really, really like the show, consider becoming a patron if you're not already. For $5 a month, you get access to weekly bonus episodes, and you get to vote in monthly polls, and you get access to all of our catalog of previous bonus episodes. This week, we talked about Spirited Away. We had a great conversation. It's a great film, great time. So go check it out. And if you really, 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 really like us, you can also get some of our merch at our website. We'll take you to our TeePublic store. You can get all kinds of goodies that let everyone know that you love spoilers and you love listening to Spoiler Piece Theater.
Yep. That you're a spoiler peep, as Dave likes to say.
That's right.
That's right. So thank you so much for listening. My name is Megan Kearns. I write for In Session Film. I'm a co-host of the Slashers podcast, a member of the Boston Online Film Critics Association, and a member of Gallica. You can follow me on Blue Sky and Twitter at OpinionS World, or on Instagram and Letterboxd at The OpinionS.
My name is Dave Riedel. I'm a movie type person. I'm a member of the Boston Online Film Critics Association, and I'm David Riedel on Blue Sky, and I'm Dave Sees Movies on everything else except for Twitter, which I'm not on at all.
And my name is Evan Crean. I'm co-chair of the Boston Online Film Critics Association, co-author of Your 80s Movie Guide to Better Living, co-host of the It's the Pictures podcast. You can follow me on social media as Real Recon. That's real as in film reel. And I'd also like to plug my appearance on the Binge Movies podcast, which just dropped. So check that out too.
Woo!
Yay! Thanks so much, everyone, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.